Hey, it's Storytelling Ron. I'm going to do a little video here. I'm sick. I'm on recovery after my appendix surgery recovery, and then I get a little flu here. But I just want to do a video anyway. I'm kind of groggy still. I'm missing on a lot of DMing. Rhyme the Frostbane and Storm King's Thunder. It's kind of a bummer. And now that the Christmas and holiday season is coming on us, oh boy, gonna miss a lot of that. But anyway, I'm just still plugging away. I'm getting better. I think I'll be able to get a good night's sleep tonight. Fever's gone. Anyway, so I'm going to start this series. I've been watching Dungeon Dudes, and I really like the subclass stuff, videos they have about the, the fighter subclass, barbarian subclass. And so I want to do some on the subclasses too. But my angle is how you as a DM should really know the subclasses and know, especially when players pick something, or if they're having a hard time picking it, you can tell them how you would DM these things and encourage them to try different things. And it's important. Like, you shouldn't just DM. Like, they pick their characters and subclasses or whatever, and then you just DM. It's really helpful if you know their subclasses, because then you will know how to DM even better. Like, I mean, granted, you're going to still DM. I want to do giant rats, right, in a sewer. But if you know the different classes that they have, you'll start changing up or moving things around or adding villains that kind of cater to that. And for instance, in one, there's I don't even know, they might be watching, so there's a someone has a certain subclass or character, and I'm creating a villain that sort of is antithesis to that, or is going to contradict that, and that really adds flavor and depth to your DMing and to the story. So it's really also my magic items. I create my own list. I think you might have seen the treasure list, and I cater to their character classes, and to their needs. Like, I have generic stuff, healing potions and all that, but then I'll start crafting lists and things, and not low magic items, and herbalism and herbalist stuff, and all. I'll explain that in the thing here, barbarians, and all that to their classes, and then their desires and their needs and their wants. Okay, so let's just go with barbarian right now. I'm just going to do Barbarian in this video, and I'm just going to do the player handbook Barbarian. So, subclasses. So obviously they're going to get, I'm having a hard time seeing because I wear contacts usually, and then I'm sick, and I'm kind of like, ugh. So they have, they have the rage, they get the unarmored defense, the reckless attack, danger sense, and then, whatever, primal path. At third level, you choose a path. So the primal paths, path of the Berserker. So Berserker gets Frenzy. That's the big one. Frenzy at third level, and then at sixth level they get Mindless Rage. So you're immune to Charm. So the Frenzy is really important. I personally picked that myself when I played once with my daughter. We had a little campaign, and then I think I'm DMing one Storm King's Thunder that they're using Frenzy, and obviously that's everyone just boom. That's like a totally awesome, but of course it has the exhaustion level thing. And exhaustion is obviously hugely detrimental. It's so you really can only use one frenzy a day, maybe, But even then, you're disadvantaged to the first level of exhaustion is disadvantage to skill rolls. The second, I think, is half speed, and third is disadvantage to fighting, or whatever. So that's like devastating. And then you die on you get to the sixth level or sixth exhaustion level. So as a DM, how would I DM that? Do I just let them just use Frenzy once and that's it, and then they got to do a long rest? I would totally help them, because I think the Frenzy is hilarious and should be used more in Crazy and Berserker. But here's how I would DM it. I am DMing it. I give them the pathway to find exhaustion level cures or reduce, to counter the exhaustion. So I think a Berserker is like an addict, like a cocaine addict. I mean, not to belittle all that, but they or bipolar, where you're so high up and then you crash. So in order to counter the crash, I think that they will start, you should give them options, like maybe meditation with a 50 gold incense. They got to get from an herbalist or, a witch or something, like a nice witch. Or they could get something where maybe during a short rest they could actually meditate and do this thing and or tattoos or whatever you guys can come up with, or you as a DM in your world, that gives them maybe one exhaustion level during short rest back, recovery. and or, you know, they could get herbalist type things where you could take some kind of, you know, herbal remedy give you your energy back, like a Gatorade type of thing, or to me, and you know, like a little bit of a, you know, they need to do it in a short rest. So there's a little, and then maybe using one hit die to also expend while they take these herbs or whatever, or the meditation. But also as they go up higher, they can get, you know, like an actual herbal remedy for 150 gold, or a potion. And I think to me the potion would happen instantaneously, and that would be like 500 gold, you know, cost, or 300 gold if it's 500 is a little too high. And they, you know, and an alchemist can make that, but then they can only make so many, or maybe one. You know, or maybe they need a certain creature or different types of creatures to make the potion, you know, so it gives the Berserker a little bit of depth to their character, in the sense that they always constantly have to find things or get things to then get, you know, these drugs to then bring their exhaustion levels down. So you should play with that in your world and sort of give them that encouragement that, oh, they can do this, and then they have something else that they need to get, you know, while you guys are playing along. Or they can get an item that, you know, gives them one exhaustion level automatically, you know, like a magic item. I would do that too. Like, what would help with exhaustion? A bedroll, you know, magical bedroll that, like, well, that's maybe cures all exhaustion levels per night, you know. Is that too powerful? And then they can, well, but then throughout the day, every time they do it, they, you know, they would still get those penalties, but then they, knowing that by that night they can at least cure them all. So there's a balance between it. Also, though, I would have some fun little, you know, maybe if they roll a nat 1 for whatever they're taking, that they go into, you know, they could go into like a rage or an exhaustion, something fun though and temporary, not permanent. Maybe they can do, you know, maybe they go in Berserker, random attacking even their own, you know, friends if they take something and then it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? Or, you know, roll a nat 1 and then they can, like, you know, do a random attack on their own characters, and the characters know they have to run away from them, or lead them to the an enemy, and then they'll attack the enemy and knock them, or what, you know what I mean? Just something. And then once the rage is gone, then they, you know, it's over. But give them a little play off of, you know, something messed up happens too. So there's a little cost, a little gamble in what they're doing. Sorry, I'm kind of slow today. So that's Berserker. Let me go on to, now I have not, and I really appreciate the dungeon dudes for, you know, so it made me kind of reread and, like, you know, look at the stuff. So Path of the Totem Warriors is the different animals, and there's the bear, eagle, and wolf. And I really got excited about doing this video when I realized something about the eagle, but I'll get to that. So they, I just got to my brain is really slow right now. So they get the totem, and then they get at third level, they get the speak with animals and beast sense. And then they pick, they pick a bear, eagle, or wolf. Okay, so first off, I would not have them have familiars. Ugh. Only because, you know, the druid's going to have a familiar, ranger's probably going to have a familiar, you know, a pet or whatever. And there's nothing here that says they're going to get a pet. So I would not do that. However, what I would do, though, is they get access to that type of animal in that area. You know, like, especially and at low level. So, like the bear guy, he would get access to a black bear in the area, one, because they're loners. And the bear would help him out. But remember, the bear has to go back and live its life. It's got to, you know, it's its territory. It's got to go eat, you know. I mean, they can feed him, but it's still going to stay in its area. It's not going to go follow him somewhere else. So you can have a bear tag along for a little bit. And I would say after maybe one fight or combat, it doesn't want to fight anymore. It wants to go and rest and heal and not do this anymore, kind of thing. But I would encourage that the animals are more intel. You know, the eagle obviously will come and help and be an intel thing. And then in the area. And I would do like falcons, hawks, eagle, greater, you know, giant eagle and greater eagle as they go up in levels, that kind of thing. Like first start off with a little falcon, you know, comes in, you can talk to him and see through him, and, you know, and again, it would be local, regional. It wouldn't be like a pet that you get to keep. And same with the wolf. I wouldn't make the wolves attack as much. They could harass the enemy or track them or trail them or scout around the land even a pack of wolves when he gets higher level, to like a single wolf, and then a little pack, and then a regional of wolves and howling, and so they help the barbarian, wolf barbarian. I think that would be cool, but I would not make the wolves actually fight, because they know that like a dog knows when you have a stick, they're afraid. If you train them, they're afraid of it, and I think the wolves know that humans are powerful and have these weapons, so they're gonna keep their distance, but they're gonna be that intel, or harassing too, like that, slow them down, or sabotage type of thing, but minor stuff, and help out a bit kind of thing. So I think that would be that would really be a cool way of doing the different animals, as opposed to having them fight and be in the combat, and add a bunch of different units in there that don't really need to be there. So the bear, though, so if a barbarian wants to be a bear, now obviously he at third level, when he rages, he gets the damage resistance to everything except psychic. So that's pretty cool. That right there is pretty self-explanatory and fun. But when the bear gets to 6th level, it says here, you gain the might of a bear. Carrying capacity is doubled. Lift. Oh my god, I can't read this without taking these off. You have advantage on strength checks. Push, pull, lift, or break objects. So I would that to me is huge. I would make the bear, or the bear guy, be able to do, think about this. You should encourage them. They can knock down people. They have double strength, so they're going to have advantage to knocking down someone, against their strength check or dex check, which is totally awesome. And they can grapple someone, and I would say bear hug too. Like, grapple is like you can keep them from leaving, but they still can fight you and stuff. Doesn't say anything about disadvantage though, so I would have both of you be disadvantaged to fight, to swing, because you're grappling. But I looked at the condition of grapple, and all it says is you can't move, because but it doesn't say anything about attacks. But I would use advantage and disadvantage on that. And incapacitated means you can't do anything. So I would allow bear hug if you wanted to bear hug somebody, and it's strength check versus your strength or dex check, and if you fail, then he's the barbarian's bear hugging you. And I would say you're incapacitated and not able to do anything unless it's somatic, right? Unless it's the voice only. But I would think the bear hug guy can choke, squeeze, and maybe do 1d4 hits of points plus strength per round of damage. And the individual has to resist, or, whatever, to be able to say something, because it's like, I would play that out. I think the bear guy could be able to do all that, or gal. Just really tough, And obviously, when you bear hug, you can't do anything else, and you're right. People can hit you with advantage, but maybe you're taking out the toughest guy. You're holding the gladiator, while the party takes care of all the others, and then you can fight the gladiator. You know what I mean? That kind of thing, or the sorcerer, or whatever. Okay, so that's cool about the bear. Then obviously at 10th level, keep you with nature, and then at 14th level, while you're raging, any creature within 5 feet of you that's hostile to you has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you. I mean, that's all fine for the bear. That seems kind of... At 14th level, that doesn't seem that big of a deal. But I think at 14th level, you don't really care. You're going to have so much stuff. So I'm not even really concerned about the 14th level stuff. But I will mention the wolf one that I like. Okay, let's go to Eagle. All right, Eagle is the one that sort of said, whoa, I'm missing something here, and I should explain this. So if a person ever want to play the Eagle, this is really serious. This is very serious. Ooh, can't turn my head that fast. Okay, while you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against you, right? And you can use the dash action as a bonus action on your turn. The spirit of the eagle makes you into a predator who can weave through the fray with ease. Okay, that one is very close and dear to my heart. As you can see, I do medieval armored combat. I actually wear full steel and fight. Of course, I'm getting older and can't seem to get out on the list very often because of stupid old man injuries or ailments. But I'm a medium heavy fighter, and so we do like melees with 5 or 10 people against 5 or 10 and coming up on each other. And there's the little runners. We have runners, and they're just as dangerous as the big guys. And if one of those gets behind us, it messes us up. We have to step back. If a runner goes behind me, I have to stop what I'm doing and head back and do this. And I'm looking at two different things now. I cannot just fight the person in front of me anymore and just wail on them. I have to go like this now and step back. If a runner gets behind me, that messes up our line, and that's very important to us. We have our own runners doing the same thing to them. So this eagle thing should really be emphasized as a pretty hard, as a serious DM. You should not downplay this. So if an eagle barbarian does this, I'm going to make the enemy, especially if they're smart or halfway intelligent, I'm going to have them all roll like a morale roll. Basically 10 and under, I guess I'll let them keep doing what they're doing, but 11 and over, I just 50-50. 11 and older, they're gonna have to do something because someone's behind them. Now they're gonna back off or dodge. I'm gonna make them. I'll roll individually too. If it's an orc group or hobgoblins. Hobgoblins for sure. Orcs might be too crazy and just keep going forward. Goblins as well. Bugbears definitely will back off. That kind of thing. And also, he's going to have advantage to attack in the rear. Trust me, man. That is absolutely an advantage. If a little guy's behind me and I'm fighting and they come up behind me, whether they choose to swing or run into me to knock me down, they have advantage. That is for sure. That is why I am freaking not letting that happen. So the eagle is going to be cool. You really should make him disruptive when he runs behind them. And he gets advantage to attack any of them. And if he knocks someone down, get some more morale tests for the other. The lines get broken easily that way. So I would definitely play that up, man. And I think in some of my other videos, I really explained that you shouldn't just have creatures fight to the end. As things change and as they get hit and the things going maybe not their way, going the party's way and not theirs, I do rolls. I do morale rolls. Very and again, it's just 50-50. And if I feel like they're tough and mean, then, I might change that number, but it's around 50-50. Definitely anything under 6, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gone. 12 and above, okay, they're going to stick around and keep fighting, but maybe smartly or whatever. But I definitely love the dynamics of morale changing the combat situation. So it's not just fighting the whole time, So that eagle thing is awesome at 3rd level, and especially at 3rd level. I really definitely encourage them about that one. So, and then of course at 6th level they gain the eyesight, which is kind of weird because at 6th level if you gain that, but then you already can talk to eagles to and beast sense. Yeah, you get beast sense and speak with animals, so you can already use that to go looking around. But I would just give them advantage to seeing things far away for sure, without having to call an eagle or a bird to them. For sure, I would give them that, and maybe give them some details. Oh yeah, they could totally see, if something's coming. They could totally see the details of that individual and what they have and what weapons they have. So definitely, okay. So that's still cool, for sure. At 10th level, they commune with nature. Yeah, okay. So then at 14th, the eagle. While raging, you have a flying speed equal to your current walking speed. This benefit works only to short bursts. You fall if you're at your end of turn. Nothing else is holding you locked. Okay. That's fine. That's kind of cool. You can leap around and fly up and down and stuff like that. You definitely better have some sort of feathery cloak to do it. But anyway. So the wolf. Now, the wolf's kind of interesting. At 3rd level, while you're raging, your friends have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that is hostile to you. The spirit of the wolf makes you a leader. Okay, so that's cool. And I would say, any creature within 5 feet of you, so they can have advantage to that. That works for me. Now here's where I think it got interesting. Oh, no, wait. At 6, so also I would, so they get wolves. I would even once in a while they'll get mercenaries, they'll get people who want to actually help them fight, which I'm against doing that. But I think maybe just for temporary battles and then they leave. I would not keep them for long. But whatever. I don't know. That's just a thought. At 6th level, you gain the hunting sensibilities of wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling. Okay. At 6th level. So, again, that's very similar to the eagle in the sense that you could just call wolves to help you, but I would say you'd be able to do that. And I think, like, on a short rest, while others are short resting, your short rest could be that you just kind of roam around, you know, and that's your short rest, literally, where you actually enjoy, you know, scouting out the area. And this camera's now flickering. It's an iPhone. It's the old iPhone 7. It's kind of flickering now, which is new. I don't know. Anyway, so that the wolf thing is, you know, how to play that up. I would obviously it's a tracking thing. It's more intel, just like the eagle, really, but in that wolf sense. So you know, you're going to use it, give them advantages to all kinds of things, as far as looking around in the area and stuff. So yeah, that's fine. Now, while at 14th level, while you're raging, I don't know, 14th level seems like a lot. That takes a long time to get there. I feel like it should be 10th level or something, or 9th level. While you're raging, you can use a bonus action on your turn to knock a large or smaller creature prone when you hit it with a melee weapon attack. I think that's kind of weird for a wolf. I would do just a wolf howl instead. To be honest, I would just take that and change it to a wolf howl. Like, you get to, you know, and maybe everyone within 30 feet gets an advantage to their attacks or gets a morale boost of some kind, you know, or one bonus action attack or something. I would just do something more, you know, more epic in that sense, because just knocking them down with one melee attack is kind of weird, because it's just, you know, at 14th level, I don't think so. I would do a howl. Some kind of howl, man. Some kind of awesome wolf howl. So that's it. All right, that's it for my barbarian things. I would, you know, yeah, I would just, I'm just going to go through that with all the different classes. So but this video was just based on the barbarian. And sorry if I'm a little groggy. I'm very groggy, but I wanted to make a video because I just trying to get back to work here and just getting sick after my surgery. So anyway, all right. So I hope this was helpful about you DMing and really adding richness to knowing. And this is just the subclass. I'm not even talking about backgrounds and, you know, all the other stuff that the character or the races that the characters choose. I'm just talking just the basic subclasses. You should know them and really think of how you're going to DM them specifically. To really add richness to the adventure and to the characters and what they get out of their character. That's a really important part of DMing and story and creating an epic story. Obviously, as a DM, you want to create what you want, but then you got to add in their backgrounds and their subclasses and intertwine it with your storyline or whatever way we want to go. So, and if you watch my Storm King's Thunder or my Rime of the Frostman, you'll see I do that. I think I do that very well, or I really try to do that with them. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope I get better. I'm sure I will. I'm at that end. But yeah, I'm almost there. All right, take care. And you stay healthy too.